Good morning and welcome to Qigong Live Online this morning. We're indoors, we're in the studio today. So it was a bit marginal outside. We're starting to get towards the wet season in Bali now, so she was cloudy and a bit of rain this morning, so we're inside now. So we're going to go through the stretching first. We'll go through a stretching set. We'll do the sinew relaxing method today. We'll do a slightly different one because I like to change different ones when we're doing. And then we're going to go through, and I have a particular thing we're going to do today. And we'll get to it. I'll surprise you what we're going to do. Just come to me before. So first of all, we'll do our wrist first. Now remember how we do this, we move our elbows. So we move, for people who haven't been on these classes before, so we're going to use our elbows to move and just let the wrist flop. So we're not moving our wrist like that, we're using our elbows to do it. So we're going to use a different part of our body to relax a different part of our body. And so we're doing the wrist first. Yeah. And then we do circles with the elbows and let the wrist do circles. There you go. Perfect. Flop them out to the side. Flop them forwards and backwards. Good. Now we're going to do the elbows. To get the elbows moving, we're going to use the shoulders. We're going to use the shoulders to let the elbows move. Yeah. We'll get to sideways, set the elbows moving. This is a shortened form of this because we don't want to spend the whole class just doing warm-ups, but we're just going to do a few just today, just to get our body loosened up. We want to get it loosened. The looser it is, the more open it is, the more tension's gone in the body, the more the chi moves. And the chi moves smoothly if the body's relaxed. Yeah. For the elbows, I'm moving my shoulders to do that. Of course, the arms are just hanging down too, so I've got the shoulders and the arms loose now. Go the other way. Good. Now to move the shoulders, we move our hips. Move our hips and the shoulders. The hip moves backward and forwards in the arms. The arm just hanging. If I let it go, it just flops. Yeah. So what I'm doing is moving my hip and then the arm starts. Very good. Do the other one. And now the whole arms from the shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist are all just hanging loose. Very good. Moving from side to side. The hips from side to side. Let the shoulders move. Good. We'll do one shoulder at a time. We do move from the hip to do one shoulder. And then back the other way. And the shoulder. I'm going to say that I'm not moving the shoulder, it's just my hips moving. Yeah. And then if I stop and go the other way, it's a bit of a trick if you've not done this before, but you'll get used to it. Good. Move hips backwards and forwards, get the shoulders going forward. And then side to side for the hips going sideways. Perfect. I think we've already done that one before. Good. Now we're going to use our spine. So we get our spine, we're going to twist our spine. To move our spine, we'll do a couple of different ways. So first of all, to get our spine, we're going to move our hips and just let the spine relax. And this is a very, very famous exercise in Taiji and in Qigong. It's a warm-up exercise. And we're using it to free up our spine, free up our hips, free up our knees, because our knee joints are moving from side to side, our ankles are moving, and our necks. It's a great exercise to open up the body. Yep. Good. So now we're going to change it slightly. We're not going to move our hips, leave our hips where they are. Just move your shoulders from side to side. And don't move your hips. Yep. Gigi, what are you doing? Hey, you come to visit me. Yeah? Good girl. Hey? You had a bath yesterday, didn't you? Hey? No, not on the rug, because you got hair falling off. Off you go. She's molting. To change the seasons here, so remember I'm moving my shoulders from side to side, the hips aren't moving. And so we're isolating our spine. Good. Now we're going to move our hips from side to side and we're going to let our spine flop from one side to the other. It's like a tree, it goes one side, and then it goes to the other side. And you're just letting the hips relax, the hips moving, and let the spine relax the best you can. And just let it move and let it flop from side to side. Good, that's it. Perfect. Feels really weird, looks weird, but it feels fantastic. Good. Now we're going to do our neck. Now to do our neck, we're going to move our hips and we're just going to let our neck hang And just let it do a turn and flops forward. And as we turn our hips, it flops backwards. Then it flops forward. Then it flops here. Flops backwards. Flops forward. Flops backwards. Flops forward. Good. And then we're going to do the same thing with the idea of the hip. We can go backwards the other way. Flop back. And let it come forward. Let it go back. Now, you're not going to hurt your neck doing like this because the sinews and the muscles that hold it in place will hold it from hurting. But what it'll do is to stretch all the sinews and the muscles without you actually putting pressure on it. Good. The other one I'm going to do, makes you feel a bit woozy, is you're going to go from side to side. As I do my spine, my head's going to go up, and then I'm going to let my head, and my head's going to flop to one side. Go up, and then flop to the other side. Comes up. Comes up. Flop. Comes up. Flop. So we do the same thing going forward and backwards. If I lean forward, the foot's going to go forward. If I lean backwards, it's going to get to the center, and it's going to flop back. Good. There you go. Now all the top part is relaxed. Now we're going to do the hips. Now to move the hips, you move your knees. So if I move my knees in circles, then the hips will move. And it's not my hips move, it's my knees move. I'm doing circles with my knees, yeah? And so the focus is on that. Good. Then we'll go the other way. Hips move. You okay, dog? You get the hips moving too, heavy. You do the Qigong. Gigi comes to the beach with me when I train in the mornings. She comes and sits beside me. And then we go for a swim together. She likes the sea. She swims right out in the sea. She swims right out in the water with me. She's great. Yeah? You know I'm talking to you, don't you? Yeah, crack up. Good. So now we move the knees from side to side to relax the hips. Of course, now the whole body's going now. Now that my knees are moving, my hips are going, my spine's moving, my arms are going, everything's just flopping from the top, but it's all coming from my knees. Yep. Good. Bring your knees forward and backwards. Let the whole body flop forward and backwards. This is a sinew relaxing method, yeah? This is how you do it, the whole body. In Chinese medicine, the term sinews incorporates the ligaments, tendons, and the fascia. They call them sinews in Chinese medicine. So it's basically all the connecting tissues and the muscles. Everything's to do with. Well, the muscles are different. The muscles are seen as muscles, but the sinews are to do with all the bands that connect everything together. Cool. Now we're going to do our hips. We're going to do our knees, and how we do that was we move our hips. So now we move our hips around and relax our knees. So all you have to do is change your intention in your mind, and it feels totally different if I move my hips. Oh, if anybody's online and you just say hello, because I can't see who's online, but not on Telegram, YouTube. So what you can do is just say hello, and then your name will come up, and I can say hello to you. Yep, if you like. You don't have to, but if you'd like to, you're very welcome. I always like to say hello to people I'm training my class with. Good. So then put the hips backwards and forwards, move your knees. Your hips side and side, move the knees. Good. Now to do our ankles, we're going to do it with our knee. So hold your knee up and move your knee around and let the foot flop. Good. And go the other way. Go forward and backwards. Good. And the other side. And round. Back the other way. As I say, this is the shortened version of this. Normally would do this longer if I'm training by myself. Good. So everything nice and relaxed. As you shake the legs out, shake the body out, shake the spine out, shake the neck out. Now everything should be ready to go. There you go. That's our version of the warm-ups today. Sam's busy writing, whoever just messaged me. Leah. Morning, Leah. Welcome to the class. Roll back onto your thumbs. Left hand underneath, right hand on top. Go. Very cool. So we're going to, and I'm going to double this up. So I'm going to I'm going to do the same exercise for the beginners class afterwards, but I'm going to do it on a beginners level. But we're going to do the exercise. We're going to do them on an advanced level. I want to understand the principle of a few exercises that are very technically difficult, but technically correct. So the more technically you get an exercise right, and I mean the physical movement of the body, the physical movement of the arms, the legs, the hips, the more physically correct it is, the more the energy flows more smoothly. So it's a lot more precise than people think. The Qigong isn't just throwing your arms around and things happen. It's actually the articulation of your arms and legs and the coordination of the arms and legs at the same time creates the energy movement. And well, it actually not only creates it, but it also opens the pathways better. But if you've got a kink in the pathway, then the energy struggles to get through the joints because of the joints turned the wrong way. Then the energy can't get through. So the energy, if they turn the elbow or the leg around slightly, then it opens up the pathway and the energy can go smoothly. So the technical piece of the Qigong is quite important, and the postures and how you hold yourself and how you rotate everything is a lot more important than we think. So I try and show you in these classes a bit more technical detail of what's happening in the class, and we're going to do a couple today. I want to do we're going to do a couple of from the Shiba system. We're going to use scoop the sea, toss the sky. It's a great exercise. I want to use that, utilize that. So I'm going to mirror you. So we're going to step off with your right foot. Step off with your right foot. Good. So I'm going to come forward onto the right foot. As we come forward, let's step back slightly. As we come forward, the body comes down and the hands, it's like scooping water out of a puddle at the beach. So you're going down and you're scooping the water. And you bend right down. And then you come right back. And you lean backwards. And then you come forward. Now what this is doing on a physical level, of course, is stretching your spine. So when I'm forward, the spine's always forward. It's always linked forward. And then when it comes back, the spine stretches all the way back. But unlike the sinew stretching, I'm not flopping it forward and backwards. I'm actually controlling the movement. I'm going forward. And then I'm breathing in as I come back. So you breathe in as you come up. And you breathe out as you come down. Now, some of the more technical pieces of this is, first of all, you don't touch the hands. The hands don't touch when they're coming up. You turn them over at the top. And then the hands come around the outside. It comes down the outside. As it comes down, it comes forward. And all the weight. And the weight changes from the front foot. So there's 100% weight on my front foot. I can lift the back foot off the ground. There's no weight in it. It's all weight on the front. And then when I go to the back, and I'm leaning backwards, all the weight's on the back foot. See, there's no weight on the front foot. It's just sitting on the ground. It's all sitting on one leg. Yeah, and you come back around to the front, and all the weight goes onto the front leg. Now, when you bring the hands at the bottom, you do alternating hands at the bottom, which means one hand goes. Next one, it goes down. I have the left hand underneath. You want to play today, don't you? Hey, you're a good dog. Comes up. And it comes down. And now alternate. Now you put the other hand underneath this time. Other hand underneath, and it comes up. So you're changing the yin yang in the hands as we do this. And it comes over the top. And then it comes down. And alternating hands. The other hand goes underneath. And comes up. Make sure they don't touch. Now the transition of when the hands turn over for this particular exercise is yin tang. So I'll just show you where the yin tang points are there. So as the hands come up the front, the turnover is at yin tang. Yeah, it turns over at yin tang and changes from the yin energy to the yang energy. So as we draw in energy out of the ground, which is the yang energy, we're drawing energy out of the ground. And we get to yin tang, and then we turn the hands over at yin tang, and we change to yang hands, and it goes up. So we've got the hands coming up, bringing the energy from the yin of the earth, turn them over, and we change them to yang of heaven. Goes right back, and we stay in yang of heaven, and then the hands come down from yang, and as we change feet, then the hands go back to yin again. And we're doing a yin-yang hand at the bottom because we've got 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. We have our our left foot. Should I say our left, we're standing on our left foot and we're going towards our right. So we're changing, so all the weight's on the right foot, so we're changing yin-yang on the right foot in the front. And when we do the other side, we change yin-yang on the left foot in the front. Yeah. And down. Very good. Good. And the breath happens at the top. So we get to the top, as soon as we start coming down, the breath changes. We start breathing out as soon as we start coming down. That's the key point. And we get to the bottom, as soon as we cross the hands, and as soon as we start coming back, as we breathe in, the body starts inflating, and that's what brings you up. So what makes you rise is not you pulling your back muscles or your leg muscles, it's the inflation. And what brings you down is the deflation. So if I bring my hands down and go breathing out, and all the air and energy and the air comes out of my body, then the body deflates. It comes right down. Sits right down the bottom. You're a character, aren't you? It comes down to the bottom. And it comes up, and as I come up, the body's inflating, and the inflation is bringing me up. So I'm like a sponge. I'm expanding to get to the top. My body's fully inflated. And then when I come down, then it comes down, then I start to go down. It's almost like everything's just squashing the sponge. And you squeeze the sponge, squeeze the sponge, squeeze the sponge. So right down here, our energy feels like it's all compacted into a little tiny ball. And then we just relax the sponge, and it just starts to expand by itself. And it comes up by itself. And keeps expanding right to the very top of the in-breath. And then we do that, yeah. We're going to come back down. Now I'm going to bring the hands and feet down. So we're going to change sides, eh? Good. So go the other side. Bring the foot forward. The same thing again. I'm going to go down to the foot, change weight 100% to the front. And comes back up. Good. And then breathe out on the way down. And so this idea of this compressing of the chi, and I feel the whole body, it's like a running out of balloons, running out of air, and it goes right down, compresses, and then all of a sudden it blows up again. And you feel the expansion happen. I think the sponge is a better analogy. The sponge just keeps expanding right to the very, very top. And so it's fully inflated. And then you start squeezing the sponge again, and it goes down, compacting the chi. Compacting. All the way to the bottom when you feel like you're a little tiny ball and it's all compressed, and then you relax and it starts to breathe in and the body starts inflating. It's like flipping up in the air. Now, I use the analogy of this have you seen those things on the side of the road where you drive past and they've got air going up and there's a little man there with this funny little hair and his hands are going like this and his hair's going like this and he's flopping because the air's going up through his system. And it makes his arms move, yeah? That air going up. Well, that's almost what it feels like when we're going up in the air. The inflation happens like that too. We feel the inflation, the whole body inflates. And then it's like we turn the motor off and all the air comes out and we come floating back down again. I use that analogy because it's energetically what it feels like that. And then now it's pumping the air through it again and all of a sudden it extends back up again. And that feeling, that inflation, deflation, is an energetic suit. So the deflation happens as the body condenses, but the gravity's pulling me down. So all I'm writing is I'm not coming down physically. I'm using the gravitational pull to pull my body down. And I'm letting gravity pull myself down. So I'm not doing this. I'm writing the gravitational energy. And then I'm using the breath as I breathe in. I'm using the breath as it inflates my whole body through my arms, through my legs, through my whole body's inflating, not just my lungs, but breathing in the energy through all the pores and all the acupuncture point. And then letting it all go out again. It's a beautiful feeling. It's a very, very cool exercise. Breathing in. Comes to the top. And breathing out. Remember, change weight both sides. So the key, of course, is to regulate your breath. So the in-breath and the out-breath, same duration. So if I start at the top with the out-breath, Breathing out 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. And the inflation 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. Well, it's a bit slow, that one. So we're trying to do this, regulate the two of them together here. Somebody asked me the other day about regulating your breath. If you can regulate your in-breath and out-breath, it regulates the oxygen intake and regulates the carbon dioxide exhalation, which is a good thing to do. So you're regulating both of them in your body. The long, slow breaths regulate your heartbeat as well. I've actually been to a doctor, and you actually can put the ECG on your heart, and you can do long breath, 5-second in-breath and 5-second out-breath, and it regulates your heartbeat. Really, really simple way of de-stressing yourself is just doing the long breaths. Yeah, good. And we finish that one. I'm going to do another one. So I'll just talk a little bit about that breath I was talking about. So the Qigong breath, this is a longevity breath where you breathe out in and out. So this has just come up, so we're going to do this one as well. So you breathe out for 5 seconds. So I'm going to take a breath in. Breathe out for 5 seconds. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5. Hold for 2 seconds. 1,000, 2,000. Then breathe in. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Hold your breath for 2 seconds. 1,000, 2,000. Breathe out. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Stop. Hold your breath for 2. Breathe in. The count of 5. Stop. 2 seconds. Breathe out. Now, when you're doing this, just stop for a second. If you find you're forcing that and that it's hard to hold your breath, or when you're doing your 5 seconds, the 5 seconds is too long, do 4 seconds. You need to build it up to 4. You can build it up to longer if you can, but I wouldn't suggest you do that to start off with. But you can at least do 3. Start with 3 second breath, hold for 2, and then breathe in for 3. Hold for 2, breathe out for 3. Hold for 2, breathe in for 3. And then increase it to 4, then increase it to 5. 5 is optimum, but you can take it to 6 and to 7. But what you don't want to be doing is feeling any discomfort. The discomfort is breathing in, hold your breath, and breathe out. And all of a sudden you start losing your breath. You're struggling with the breath. It's difficult to do it. It's a pattern that you have to teach yourself how to do, and it takes a little practice to do this. So if you find it a bit uncomfortable holding your breath, and then you breathe out too hard, and then you run out of breath, and you've got to breathe in. And hold your breath feels strange, and you find your body's reacting to what you're doing. Just do it slowly. Start off nice and slowly. And do it a few times so you get used to it, then go back to it. It's such a great practice, and it's a really good practice to regulate your heart, regulate the blood circulation, regulate your lungs. And I can't stress how cool that exercise is. It's one of those exercises you can do if you're stressed out, you have a stressful time of your day. You just do that exercise and the whole body will relax itself. Yeah, like rebooting yourself. Such an important practice. Yep. So the next one we're going to do, we'll do one more, and we'll do which one? We'll do we'll do dove spreads wings. We'll do the second one. So this is another one where we step forward and backwards. We're going to do double steps. So we step forward. Now there's a key to this is the stepping, and I will talk about this, the precision of the stepping. So first of all, the heel goes on the ground, then the toe goes on the ground. Just notice when I put the toe down on the rest that I didn't move. I'll pick my toe up. Watch the toe goes down, I don't move. There, like that. Good. What you don't want to do is put the toe down and come forward to put the toe down. Yep. I'll say it again. You don't want to come forward to put the toe down. You just want to put the toe down. Good. Remember that. Because once the kidney point's on the ground, we anchor the kidney point and we pull ourselves into that foot. We pull ourselves forward into that foot. I'm just going to do the stepping first, not the arms. We come forward and we bring the other foot up. I'll step back just so you can see my feet. You step back and you bring the foot up and just the toes touch the ground. The back foot, when it comes forward, just the toes touch the ground. So the kidney point's still off the ground of this foot. Yeah, which is your left foot. And you're going to step back. As you step back, you go toe, and then you put the heel on the ground. Now notice when I put the heel on the ground that I didn't go backwards. I'll show you again. See, the heel goes on the ground, but I'm not going backwards. What you don't want to do is transition backwards to put the heel on like this. I'll show you this is not what you do. It's go backward and like that to put the heel on the ground. Yep. What you do is you put the heel on the ground. How you do that is by bending the front leg. You bend this knee to put the heel down, like that. So the weight's still on the front foot. I can just bring the foot back. There's no weight in it, yeah? And so I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to come back. Because what you want is the back foot. You want the kidney on the ground, kidney point on the ground first. You've got to put the heel down to do that before you go backwards. And then you pull yourself into your kidney point. It comes back to the kidney point. Good. And then the front one comes back up. And then the toe touches the ground of the other one. So the kidney point's disengaged with this leg, with my right leg. Okay. Then I step forward again. I go heel. Toe goes down without any weight. Toe goes down. See, my body didn't move. The toe just goes down by itself. Then it comes forward. Come forward. Step up. So it's all about connecting the kidney points to the ground. Now at this stage, the kidney point, my left leg kidney point's off the ground. It's not touching. It's just the toes are touching. I step back, the kidney point is still not touching the ground, but when I lower the heel down by bending the front leg, now the kidney point's on the ground. Now I pull myself back from the back foot, come forward, foot comes forward. Yep. Heel, toe goes down. I pull myself into the kidney point. Back foot comes up, stepping back. Toe, heel goes down, then come back. Foot comes up, touching the just the foot just touching the ground. Yeah, now when I'm standing on the back foot, I'm standing on my left foot, I'm standing on the kidney point of my back foot. My heel's touching the ground, but there's no weight in it. I'm basically standing on one leg, but I'm standing on the ball of the foot. I'm not standing my kidney, and I've got this leg slightly bent. So I'm actually standing on the whole foot. I'm not standing, the heel's just touching, it's just resting on the ground. I'm standing on the ball of my foot. So when I come forward, heel on the ground, toe goes down on the ball, anchor the kidney point, come forward. As I come forward, the same thing happens with the other foot. When it comes forward, the front foot, which is this foot, I'm basically standing on one leg again, and I'm standing on the ball of the foot again. I'm standing on my muscles, yeah? So the foot's touching the ground, standing on my muscles on the ball of the foot. Now this is technically not easy to do, and I know I'm very aware of this. This is why I'm showing you the detail of this. Toe, heel on the ground first by bending the front knee, heel on the ground. And don't come back until the heel is touching the ground. There's no weight in the heel, it's just touching the ground. Now the kidney point's connected, now I'm going to come back. Now I'm standing on the kidney point of this foot and bring the other one up. So basically I'm doing from one leg, then I'm stepping forward, and I'm going forward, and then I'm standing on one leg on the other foot, yeah? And then I'm stepping back, one leg, stepping forward, one leg. And we're learning how to do that, but the heels touch the ground, but there's no weight in either of the heels. Step back, heels off the ground. Good, so that's what the stepping looks like. That's tricky enough. The arms are relatively easy compared with the stepping. So heel, toe, come forward, and then toe, heel, and then go back. So don't move until the heel's on the ground. Comes forward, heel, toe, come forward, toe, heel, come back, heel, toe, heel, toe, come forward, toe, heel, come back. This is the precision, because the energy changes because of it. And why I'm doing this for is why it's so important. Heel, toe, come forward, toe, heel, come back. So why I'm stressing this, because it's such an important principle, what's happening inside the body if your kidney point's not engaged. The key, of course, is to catch yourself not to move. And the key is the heel goes down. Sorry, let's get back. The heel goes down, the toe goes down first. And once the toe's down, remember it's no weight in it. And then I transfer my weight from the back foot, my back kidney point to the front one. As it goes forward, it comes up the body and goes across the body and down that foot. It comes up the leg, down and goes down into the kidney point. and I'm using the energy of the front foot connection to the kidney, to the ground, and I'm using it to suck myself forward. I'm use it to suck my energy forward into the front foot. I'm not pushing off the back foot. The front foot's pulling me forward. It's like your knee goes forward and pulls you forward into that foot. And then the back one comes up. Then the toe goes down, then the heel goes down the back foot. Yes? And then you get sucked to the back foot. But kidney point's got to be on the ground first. Otherwise, if you do that, if you don't have the kidney point on the ground, you start moving, it's a totally different thing. Good? Okay. I'll explain what I mean about that. The kidney point energy, the two kidney ones on both of them, Yong Try, they enter the ground. It's our earthing point where the energy comes up. Now, with our toes touching the ground, two of our toes are yin toes where the energy is coming from the ground up, and 3 of them are yang toes and the energy is going down. So if you move forward into the foot and the kidney point's not on the ground, you're using your toes, especially with the back one when we get steering back. If we put our toes on the ground, now our liver, our spleen, our stomach, our gallbladder and our bladder are touching the ground, but the kidney point's not, if just the toes are on the ground. Yeah? So we've got all those meridians touching the ground. If I go backwards like that and I start going backwards, then I generate the movement to go backwards from the liver, spleen, stomach, gallbladder and bladder, not the kidney point, because the kidney point's not on the ground yet. And so I change the exercises dramatically if I start moving backwards rather than the toes, because now I'm drawing energy from the toes instead. But I don't want to do that. I want to put the heel on the ground, which connects the kidney point, and now I'm drawing back into the kidney point too. Yeah. So I'm drawing back into on the kidney point, but the toes are still connected, and there is an aspect where you're drawing back in the toes, but you want the kidney point on the ground because that's where your major connection comes from. That's where the major energy. Otherwise, you're just getting the energy from the first turns. Remember, when the toes on the ground, 3 of them are going down, 2 of them are coming up. But as soon as I connect the kidney point, which is a big connection, then I get all the full power comes up. But if I don't have it connected, I only get it coming from the spleen and the liver. And you don't want to do that. You want to have the kidney connected. It's like your battery in your body. So it's like plugging the terminal in. And that's where all the power comes from. So you want to have your kidney on the ground. And as soon as you move back, you get full power, and then it comes up your leg. It comes up, and you can feel the surge. Now, if I do it the other way, I can feel the difference. If I put my toe on the ground like it is now, and I go backwards, I can feel the energy on my toes coming up until the kidney hits the ground, and then it activates the kidney. But if I put the toes on the ground, and then I put the kidney, and then I put the kidney down first, now I can feel the energy coming up that leg already. It's already started, and then when I go back, it's all full power. Yeah, and that's what I do this for, and it's such an important piece because it's all about the energetic connection. It's like which ones you're plugging into which circuits. You plug in certain ones, but you miss the most important one, which is the kidney one. It's the same when you go forward. The heel on the ground, there's no acupuncture points in the heel. As soon as I put my kidney point on the ground, kidney point goes down first, and then the toes. As soon as I access the kidney point on my bottom of my foot, the energy starts filtering up the body straight away, and then it's when I touch, excuse me, bit of dust. So when I put the kidney point down, it activates full power kidney point, and then when the toes touch the ground, then I have the connection with the toes in the front. Remember, 2 of them are coming up, and 3 of them are going down. But now the kidney point's connected, so I've got full power. So when I come forward, I have full power. So the same thing is, if I put my foot up, and I go forward without the kidney point being on the ground, I'm pushing off the back leg. There's no energy coming out of that foot. I have no connection, so I'm even driving the exercise from the back foot, from the kidney point of the back foot. It's pushing me forward. So there's no power until the toe goes down, and the toes go, then it starts to activating the foot. But if I've got it up and I'm halfway across before I even touch the kidney point and the toes hit the ground, I'm generating from the back. So it disturbs the whole fabric of what this exercise is about. It just you're short-circuiting the exercise by having the wrong part of your foot on the ground. I think short-circuiting it is a good analogy to understand what you're doing. So that's why, and I've spent a bit of time on this because it's the key to the whole exercise. If you don't get this one right, the whole exercise is not working. There's no energy. No matter what you're doing with your arms, it's not working because you've initiated with the wrong meridians, the wrong circuits. You've got the wrong wires sending energy, and so it's going to affect how it's affecting your arms, because the 6 meridians in your arms and your feet affect the 6 meridians in your arms. And so if you're connecting different ones, it's going to affect how it flows through your arms. So the exercise is all of a sudden now you're doing an incomplete exercise. And so you want it all perfectly linked up, and so energetically it's working. Okay. Hopefully you get that, and I did spend a bit of time at that, and I make no apologies. It's so important. Otherwise, they say the exercise, you might as well not even do it, because other things happen. It's short-circuiting yourself. It's not good for you. It's actually going to hurt you because it's not designed to do the other way. Anyway, heel, toe. There we go. Moving on. Now the arms. The arms come around like a big circle. They come around as you come forward, and then the toe touches the ground. Now the back of the fingers touch each other, and then they go into your chest. They actually touch your sternum, and you push it into the sternum. And as you push in the sternum, it puts the energy to your back. So you push it through the sternum into your back, and so you feel your back inflate like a big balloon, and you hollow your chest. Yeah. And you step back. Remember, toe, heel goes down first, then step back. And as you come back, the inflation happens, the body inflates. And it's coming out of the kidney points and the meridians and the spleen and the stomach at the back. The spleen and the liver at the back. So we have, in the inflation comes from the kidneys, liver, and spleen. Okay. And we're stepping forward. Heel, toe, kidneys are connected to the ground first, and then come forward. And we're driving that energy up the kidney meridian, up the spleen, up the liver, and it's coming up and it's going around your arms and then back into your heart. And then back into your Dumai, going into the channel in the back. While you're arching your back, stepping back, toe, heel, and step back. And then feel the inflation happen. The whole body inflates from the spleen, liver, and kidneys. Good, and now the energy's in the chest. So we're going from the back. When we hollow the chest, it goes from the back, and then it comes to the front. So we're moving it from the Dumai in the back to the Renmai in the front. We're going backwards and forwards. And we're doing this inhalation, exhalation. Yeah, this happens in the Bhagwan Jin exercise. Shooting the eagle, looking left and right. This has the same idea where you have this expansion of the front, and then the expansion of your back. And you have this energy moving from the Dumai, Renmai. That's a very important part of this exercise. Yep. We're stepping forward, heel, toe again, then come forward, connect it all up. And then we're driving, the whole exercise being driven by the right connection with your kidneys. Step back, toe, heel. Now the whole movement has been driven by the right connection now because your kidneys are engaged. And that's engaging the whole exercise. Same thing. Heel, toe, come forward. Now the whole part of the movement forward has been engaged by the kidney, spleen, and liver. Otherwise it doesn't do that, and you're short-circuiting the exercise. Very cool. Now that's a technical piece of the exercise. I haven't normally talked about this to this detail. I don't think ever before we talked how much important it is. Heel, toe, come forward. And if you do it the other way, I can feel the difference in my arms. My arms don't, it feels like, almost like getting electric shocks because it's not correct. Toe, heel, come back. And the energy of the whole body, you can feel it in the body. Heel, toe, come forward. And it's full power in this one. Toe, heel, come back. Full power on that one too. And I can feel the whole body live up. It livens up because of the energy. Heel, toe, come forward. And I can feel the whole power come in. And I can feel it echoing through my body into my back. Toe, heel, come back. Yeah, it's such a beautiful feeling. It's like the body becomes alive. Heel, toe, come forward. You're compacting the chi, put it into your back. And feel like you're compressing. You can feel the power being compressed. It's such a beautiful feeling. And then you step back, heel, toe, come back, and then you feel the inflation. And you feel like you're about 10 feet wide. You're way out here somewhere in the inflation. You're not just inside your physical body, you're inside your energetic body. Yeah? Cool. And then bring your hands back around the front, step back to the front. Very cool. Hopefully that's helpful, especially people who do the Shur exercises. There's 18 of them. I can't remember what number that is. I think it's 8 and 9. No, it's not. It's 12 and 13. So those exercises, 12, no. So it's quoted it wrong. So it's 12 and I think it's 15. Those exercises are miraculous. They are extraordinary exercises when they're done right. And as I say, Qigong exercises are a lot more precise than they look. Because if you just normally see that exercise, yeah, you're just doing that. But there's a whole lot of precision inside it to get the exercise, to get the full benefit from the exercise is when you do it in its full potential of the way it was designed energetically. And the connections and the turning the switches on and off inside the body is quite a precise function. And to do that, then you get the full benefit of the inflation, deflation. And you can feel it. It changes in your body. As soon as you do it right, the whole body just lights up. But if I do it the other way, it just goes, you can just sort of, it's like make this like shooting sparks sort of thing. It's a weird feeling, but it just doesn't feel right. But I can feel the energy changing. But if I do it the right way, the whole body just engages. And this huge expansion happens, and there's huge piece of energy pack, and you can feel the power of that. Otherwise, it's all distorted. Yep. I cannot say enough about those. And so those two exercises are very technically difficult. But once you get it right, whoa, it's a great day. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Hopefully that's useful. If you have any questions about those exercises, please ask. And yeah, hopefully they're useful. And I think the detail helps us to be better practitioners, better Qigong performers. When we're doing our practice gets a lot stronger. We get a lot more power from it. And I think it's really important. So have a good day, and we'll just bow. All back on your thumbs. Left hand underneath. Go. Make a fist with your left hand, cover with your right. Bring the energy towards your heart. And then down to your physical center. If you want to see the bow in this exercise and how this is performed, there's a class in the beginners playlist about the bow and about the detail of the bow if you've never done it before. Very good. Go and have a look and you can watch that. Step back and bow to everybody else that's come in the class today. And everybody else is going to watch this video. Hopefully it's useful to you. And enjoy your practice, enjoy your day. And for those of you, I know some of you do both, you're going to do the beginners class straight after this. I'll see you on that one. We're going to go over these exercises again, but I'm going to do it on a more easier level than just what we just did then for the beginners, to introduce these exercises because they haven't done them yet. Yep. Okay. See you soon. Bye-bye.